So Plunderstorm owns. I've been enjoying this mode a lot. I've been playing with a couple different guys, mainly playing duos. But this game mode's really good. The balance isn't that far off. They tuned a couple things. People still think Fire Whirl is a little strong, but realistically, there's tons of ways to counter it. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal. It got nerfed by 50% movement speed, yada yada. But more so than what Plunderstorm is, like right now, what it actually is. I think it's more interesting to think about what this could actually be. Because first and foremost, the ability to just click a button here and then play a completely different game mode, right? Completely different game mode is really interesting. And it actually has a lot of potential applications going forward. And more so than anything, what WoW has fallen behind on other games over and over and over again is the content that is not seasonal, that is not purely expansion based. It is the evergreen content that allows you to do different events and stuff like it has like trial of style, and it has some like the time walking modes are decent. You can go do old war and get some decent gear, stuff like that, right? Those are good, but what WoW really needs is modes like this that can come back every now and then. People are excited for it. They can have new stuff, new balance updates, and the potential to add new things for WoW to do and new events is it adds a lot of potential evergreen and interesting content to the game. Something I would be seriously interested in is one of the things you noticed about the mobs is you can dodge every single point of damage from this game mode. From start to finish, you don't have to take a single point of damage. You can dodge literally everything but Rhyme Arrow, right? Rhyme Arrow, I think, is the only thing that is undodgeable. But as far as all of the NPCs, all of their damage is completely avoidable. You can avoid all of it. And it makes me think of a game mode like, let's say, Vampire Survivors, right? Where you could have a mode and all these different abilities, and they're souped up, and they do a bunch of crazy stuff, and you could level them up. And you could have a mode like that in a small event like that for World of Warcraft, and and there's potential for that in these small maps, in these game modes. Like imagine they even took dungeons, and that was your ability to root and kite and stuff like that. Like think about Scarlet Monastery Cathedral, and you have the staircases and the waterfall to jump down. You can kind of kite. It would almost be like a zombies like game mode where like Call of Duty does its zombies and they're running at you and you have to shoot them down, yada yada. But you can have different abilities and spells and blizzards and novas. You could do like a melee build, like warrior, like cleaves and blade storms, and there's a lot of interesting things you can do with what is already in World of Warcraft, and make smaller game modes like this, and make more evergreen content for game modes like this. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily something that is active, right? It doesn't have to be combat, it doesn't have to be PvP. Think about like a prop hunt kind of mode too, right? Do a little event, be a little sneaky. You could, and then it could be very small areas. Once again, you can do specifically dungeons, right? You can do like a dungeon room, and people have done dungeons throughout the years, through all the cases, right? What if you were in like a room in a Tal Dazar or something like that, right? You were sectioned off in a small part of the map, but you had to be like a statue or a bush or a lantern or something like that, and you could do like a prop hunt style. I think a Tal Dazar is probably a bad pick. Something like Waycrest Manor might be way better for something like that. But that is the potential that these game modes have, right? That this kind of thing shows. And I think that's far, far more important than what Plunderstorm is the potential of what you can do. Um, the game mode itself of Plunderstorm, I mean, some people, it's not their cup of tea. They can just purely PvE it, get all the rewards. They can be annoyed about it, but they don't have to fight anybody. They don't have to do PvP to get the rewards, right? Um, they just buffed all of the plunder you get. Like I think in duos we were getting anywhere between 3 to 4,000 a win when we were just playing well, running around, killing people, that kind of stuff. So I think Plunderstorm is great. I think it's a lot of fun. I totally get why some people would look at this and go, man, this isn't for me. It was a secret event that was hidden for months, hidden for weeks, whatever. And it was something that is just simply not for me. And you know what? That does kind of suck for them. I totally get that. But it's not necessarily always going to be for you. Stuff necessarily isn't going to be that way all the time, right? Maybe the next time they do a prop hunt mode or like the Vampire Survivors mode thing. What if they could do, I mean, bringing up Waycrest Manor again, what if they could do like, I don't know, like a a haunted house mode? Like I don't know, right? I'm honestly, I'll be real with you. I'm not a big thinker guy. I'm a big doer guy in terms of stuff like this. Um, but it's really cool. This game mode is really cool. It is very enjoyable. I don't really want to talk about the balance of it or what's the best thing or your guide to play, because who the fuck cares, right? If you enjoy it, play it. If you don't, you don't. But I think we really need to consider this of what they did here a massive success and the potential for what this could be later on for evergreen content and events and potentially events to bring people into WoW. Like, I think Plunderstorm could be totally fine as a free-to-play aspect of the game, right? Like, as long as you have a because think about like free-to-play battle passes, right? Like, you have a battle pass, it's free to play, and then you get rewards, and then there's premium rewards. You get some rewards inside Plunderstorm, right? You get little outfits you can equip, little things you can put on in the game mode, but a lot of that value and a lot of that bonus is classic rewards, dragonflight rewards, mounts, cosmetics, transmogs, all that kind of stuff, right? So that almost already takes care of that premium battle pass, free battle pass thing that some games do. But I think new modes like this that are able to be tried by other people and you can play with friends for free would be a massive, massive success. Um, I don't know if they're willing to make something like this free, but I think it might be in their best interest going forward if they want to potentially bring new people into the world. That it could potentially be seen as a gateway, I guess, of a free thing. But that's all I really had to talk about. I could ramble on and on about this stuff. But I would honestly, I've already done it multiple times, talking in circles about the potential of this kind of activity within not only the World of Warcraft game, but the engine and what they can do with it, and the talented people working at the studios and the ideas they have. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. The next video I make is probably going to be about Perry, because we need to talk about whether or not Perry should exist, how it should exist, where it came from, how it started. I plan on doing a little more like actual research for that video, because Perry has been a staple of the game for a long time since vanilla, and there's reasons for it to exist. Same thing with spell hit, expertise, all that kind of stuff, right? So I think I'll do a little more research on that, and that's probably what I'll focus on for the next time. But I just wanted to talk about this mode a little bit and the potential of it because it was fun, and I hope we see more of it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.